Hi guys, Jason here from Godlike Productions again. Just running through a little bit of bit more studio setup, uh, taking over from last time where we'd found those issues with the MIDI cable. So I'm just double checking one of the cables, and I pull that out. And then the next issue really was the drum machine. And what I've done is I've just pulled it out and I'm rechecking all those the ROMs just. I reseat them, so just pull them out a bit and push them back in, and then I do a hard reset on it, and that seems to have fixed the problem. I haven't tested the sound out yet, but at least the display is working. So yep, getting the DM Pro back and going, which is really cool. I use that a lot for the tabla sounds in it. I have the 909 really for a lot of the dance kicks, but yeah, it's got some really good drums in the DM Pro. Then the next thing that we do is get a lot of the MIDI and audio synced up. Well, the MIDI synced up and the audio connected into one of the audio interfaces. You can see me just behind the rack there. There's not much room, but yeah, just need to organise a couple of the cables there. Back underneath it again. Yeah, hopefully getting close to being the final point of really having to get behind this rack now. Thankfully, it's really only going to be problems that come up that I need to address. So this is all just a bit of last minute MIDI routing. So a lot of this came about because of that damaged cable that we had. So I've had to replumb that in, and then I had the DM Pro out, so I had to get all that hooked back in. But I think I've spoken about it before, but yeah, the MIDI really, I've got a couple of options here, so I can either run this doorless or run it off a door, and the whole studio stays synced up, which is really, really nice. Alright, getting a few things turned on now. Checking a bit of 909. Checking the 909 operation there. There you go, just permanently pulling that dodgy MIDI cable out now. So now I've all diagnosed it, got sync happening properly. Just get rid of the dodgy cable. I'll probably chop it up at some stage, put some new ends on it, and reinstitute it into the studio because it is quite a long cable. Takes a bit of time. Unfortunately, it's a little bit all coiled up inside the loom. Finally setting sync up to all the rest of the the devices now. So pretty much all those groove boxes there, well, not pretty much, all of those groove boxes and everything else in the studio, so all the effects processors, all the synths across the other wall, and the computer are all run off one ultra precise MIDI clock. So just over the right hand side there, I think you've seen a few pictures, there's an EMX1, a Electron Cycles and a Digitone. And then the left hand side I've got the TD3, TD3MO and Roland TB3. And there's a deluge on both sides. One of those I need to wire across. I'm going to use that to run, when I want to run live, to run the synths across the other side with MIDI. And under that rack on the left hand side there I've got the push 2, and I'll have an APC 40 there as well. The APC 40 really will control video. Can control Ableton as well, but I tend to mainly use it for video nowadays. And the only thing I've still got to find a spot for up there is the RSP8, which is a remote control for the Kurzweil KSP8. That's going to be wired in, but yeah, I just want to try and get, there's still a few synths to get set up, so I need to set the Kurzweils up. K2600 of the PC3. Forte's out of action at the moment. I need to get a new power supply for that, so I'll try and get that addressed in the next few weeks. And then I'll set up the ARP 2600 clone and the MS2000. They'll be set up on a mobile rack, which will probably go just at the back there, just around about where I'm standing at the moment. It's just mobile rack on wheels. It's me referring to the menu sheet where everything's plugged into, making sure I get stuff into the right spots. But it is good to finally be getting audio MIDI run. Get back into the situation where we can make some music. Just off camera there, I'm just trying to find the right cables to get a few things connected there. There's a big pile of them over on the right hand side. So the way I've got most of the audio running in the studio is the main mixer is a Yamaha DSP-5D, which is a 56 input, 24 output mixer. And that connects into the RME audio interfaces via MIDI. But I've also got the UFX3 has got a whole bunch of audio inputs as well. The H9000 has got audio inputs as well that I can pipe either into MIDI or to USB. I've got audio inputs on the KSP8 if I want to use those, and they can output out of ADAT. And then across the other side, I've got a Scarlett, which I've just set up basically as a analog to digital converter, and that runs 8 channels into ADAT. And I've got my old RME UFX, and I've also got a PreSonus audio interface if I need additional inputs across the other side of the room with the synths. The DSP-5D also runs all the post-processing stuff, so all the preamps, EQs, compressors that are in the rack, they'll also run out of there. That'll be my main patch bay there. And the way that I've got the MIDI set up is that I will be able to route anything to anywhere via computer switching, just by changing the routing and the busting of that. And that's useful, like when I'm running with Ableton, it's quite simple because I can route it out of Ableton, but when I'm running doorless, I need to be able to route things around, so I need to be able to send synths through to the effects processor, for example, and get them back, and then set up the recording streams, send the audio back to the deluges for recording, things like that. So having that flexibility is really, really useful, and now I've basically so many I/O, so many inputs and outputs in there that I've just necessitated needing to go to take that step to get the extra mixer. And yeah, it's a complicated setup, but I've kind of got my head around it quite well. I understand it. I'm not sure that I'd be able to show other people how to do it. But it works and it's flexible, and it means that I can swap things around really quickly. If I have some friends come in and jam or doing something together, it's super easy for me to integrate that in. I've got plenty of extra audio inputs. I've got plenty of MIDI sync options. I've got additional MIDI I/O. So yeah, able to get all that going. So just a little bit about, this is a routing. So this is a DSP-5D that you can see there. And I'm not sure you can see the whole window, but so there's the routing panel on the right hand side, and at the bottom there, that's really the main inputs. And the way this works is that there's 24 mix outputs that I route over MIDI, plus the main stereo outputs. It's got its own effects processors on it. The effects in it are really, really good actually. And there's EQs galore, compressors galore. But yeah, 56 inputs. You can send it to, then there's 24 mix outputs, but there's also a set of matrix outputs as well. So there's 16 matrix outputs, which you can mix down the mix buses to those if you want to. Really good for doing sub mixes, recording mixes. If you need additional EQ, you can use those. So yeah, it's been a good addition. It's taken me a little while to get my head around. It's certainly a more complex mixer than I've been used to, but I now see the love and the attraction for why people use these in the live, particularly the live event space. Just having that large amount of input, all those EQs available, all the dynamics, compressors, gates, just a lifesaver. That's it for today. Thanks for tuning in, and there will be more again soon. Alright guys, catch you later.